I'm going to gamble on Nvidia shares. If you look at Nvidia shares, let's go into this one. It's really gotten beat up. It was as high as almost 300. If you take a look, 292. So I'm willing to gamble at this price and we'll see how well it does. I think it might not be the worst time to get in, and we can take a look. So this is the Nvidia stock right now. So you can kind of see the after hours gamble is $1,255. That's kind of the value. So I'm actually going to hang on to this. A lot of people would maybe even sell after hours. But for right now, I'm going to hang on to this. And that's because I feel like the expectations of this stock were kind of low, and I definitely do think this could get to 170.
I just want all of the money. Do you know what?
You guys, I'm actually legitimately getting owned this morning. It's the morning after looking at Nvidia, and boy was I wrong. I had thought it could climb a bit higher. I was not expecting it to drop as low as it did intraday, and now I'm a bit worried and half tempted to actually kind of sell it.
So I bought Nvidia stock. If you take a look at the chart, it looked like it was about to have a bit of a breakout. So I don't want to go too much into technical analysis with Nvidia. I realized multiple times with trading Nvidia stock that I was making numerous mistakes while trading the stock. I'd like to go into that real quick. There were several times where I could have been in and out of the stock very quickly. You know, I could have locked up a $1,400 profit, but as it turned out, I had only locked up $527 worth of profit while trading the stock. To be honest with you, that was my mistake. I had it in the back of my head, Nvidia is going to hit $170 a share or something like that. And I misread the tape multiple times.
The earnings, I couldn't think of one bad news out of it. Technically, it looked like if there was good news, there could be breakout. Like if you looked at the technical chart, every time it looks like it's about to bounce back up or something like that today. Like I was faked out 3 different times. As you can see, it looked like it was going to have its bounce back up, so I didn't sell it and it just went down. So it's just one of those days where anytime I'm thinking something will happen, the exact opposite's happening. So this is just something you kind of have to deal with. Keep in mind, I had the opportunity at some point to sell this after hours for a $1,400 profit. I'm now looking at $400 potentially if I sell it now. I'm not really sure why it's selling off as aggressively as it was. I know a bunch of people who thought the earnings was going to be bad, hopefully expecting some short covering later on to hopefully sell this at a reasonable price.
And quite frankly, I should have sold it a lot sooner than I did. I'm just glad I didn't sell it at the day's low, because that would be embarrassing to have to show to you guys, but sometimes you make mistakes as a trader. I got tired of watching the stock. I could not read the tape. And so what does that mean, read the tape of a stock? Sometimes you can tell by the trend of a stock whether it's going to continue to go up at least for another 10, 15, 20 seconds, maybe a couple minutes or something like that. But Nvidia, at least the day after earnings was announced, it was jumping 20, 30 cents, like on a tick-by-tick basis. It was actually pretty hard to follow. If you look back at the chart, you'll see that there were a couple of green bars between 9:30 and 9:45, about 2 different sets of them occurring at 2 different time frames. Both times I thought the market was going to buy back Nvidia stock. You know, the price of Nvidia stock would start to rise. But very quickly after those sets of green bars that you see on my screen took place, you saw a huge drop back down. You had basically a large set of red bars just going across the screen, representing a decrease in the price. And in fact, the second time the green bars took place, the market's buying back the price of Nvidia stock. You know, I was expecting it to get back up to 166, 167. I'll be like, all right, it didn't hit 170. I'll just offload it. It doesn't matter. But that time, once again, it dropped lower. So I kept mistrading the whole stock the whole day, and it was a little bit humbling, to be honest with you.
I cannot seem to read the tape of this stock at all. I'm trying to find a good exit point. I have to make a decision. Am I happy with my gain so far, or do I believe that Nvidia could bounce further from here? Now here's kind of what I'm looking at. Nvidia If you take a look at it here, it looks like it had a little bit of a breakout, but that's being sold off. I feel like it could go higher. I actually traded this incredibly poorly. This is how much I made off of the trade. I'm actually very disappointed in myself on how this panned out. In some ways it's great, yeah, I locked up a win, but I really mistraded this security.
I mean, I did make a profit, but the reason I'm disappointed in the trade itself is I feel like I screwed up the part of the trade that actually required skill. The true skill in trading comes into play of getting out at a good time when you feel like you can minimize your losses when you're wrong on your thesis, or selling it at the maximum profit. And the last two trades that I've done, Chipotle and Mexican Grill, I probably maximized my losses on the stock. Nvidia, I probably had I didn't have the actual lowest amount of gains, but you know, I could have made a lot more money had I been a little bit smarter. You know, these things do happen time to time as a trader, and you know, I'm used to it, so I'm not that emotional about the experience that I had with it, but you know, I need to get better about this kind of stuff. I'm gonna try a little bit harder not to make the same mistake. I'm gonna continue to gamble on earnings season. Going forward, I hope to read the technicals a little bit better, and maybe I'll try to keep the names to more of stock names that are easier to read tape-wise, that don't have these 20-30 cent jumps in stock price, or you know, drops in stock price. So that's it for my ramble for the day today. We'll pick back up next week where you guys can watch me trade some more. It might appear as if I'm wearing a jacket, and that's actually because I'm wearing a jacket.